Let me ask you, do you think that the government should redistribute its citizens' wealth by forcefully taking money from some citizens in order to provide goods and services for others? What's your view?
Oliver Wendell Holmes, who was appointed by a Republican president, Teddy Roosevelt, argued that taxes are the price we pay for civilization. I do believe that whether you think the government ought to be 20% in size or 25% in size, that we do need government. I do believe government does important things like defending our national security.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about all government, just about redistributive taxes.
And I do believe that we are living in a society where people at the bottom need to have an equal shot in life, as Abraham Lincoln argued forcefully. And if you're going to have an equal shot in life, and you grow up poor, you grow up Hispanic, you grow up black in this country, your shot is not always as equal as it might be. And do I believe that those of us who are more affluent should be supportive of those who are in trouble? I do believe that. I do not think we should cut that off. Mitt Romney believes that. He gives a lot of money in taxes when you look at the total bill, but he also gives a lot of money in charity. I do believe that those of us who are more fortunate should be supportive of those who have a hard time, and I frankly don't think I'm being forced to do it. I think it's the price we pay for civilization.
I see. You don't think that taxes are forceful? In other words,
are you forced? I think they're.
Okay, but I just want to know, do you think, are people forced to pay taxes?
I think you're forced to get a driver's license. You want to drive a car. You want to live in this society, you better be willing to pay some price. Okay. You ought to be willing to do it in terms of sacrificing for the military. You ought to be willing to do it in terms of taxes. And to go off in this notion that somehow this society is unfair to people who are more affluent is staring this upside down. That what's happening in society is there are a lot of people in the middle who are losing their jobs. There are a lot of people like me. I happen to be fortunate. I'm doing very, very well. Do I think I ought to feel badly that, you know, I have to pay some taxes to help support people with job training because they lost their jobs because of free trade? No, I think it's a good thing to do.
So are people forced to pay taxes or not?
Yeah, it's for the law. You're required to pay taxes.
Okay,
you can go to jail for that pay. But you're required to do a lot of things. What point are you trying to make?
Objected to the use of the word forced to pay.
Well, I just think you're saying it in such a derogatory way. You're saying
I'm not saying it's bad or good.
I'm
just saying that it's a fact.
By using the words as forced, you're arguing that there's some sort of authoritarian government.
No, I'm not arguing anything.
For taxes. I ask for taxes. I think it's the right thing to do.
So you agree that they're not voluntary, that people are forced to pay. That's all.